Macmillan Audio presents The Story of Sun by J.R. Ward. Read for you by Jim Frangione. Chapter 1. Claire Stoughton palmed her travel mug without looking up from the will she'd drafted and was reviewing. "I hate when you do that." Claire glanced across her office at her executive assistant. "Do what?" "That heat-seeking missile routine with your coffee. My mug and I have a very close relationship." Martha pushed her sleek glasses up on her nose. "Then good thing it's got a lid. You're going to be late for your 5 o'clock if you don't leave now." Claire stood and pulled on her suit jacket. "How bad's the time?" 2:29. "Drive to Caldwell is a minimum of 2 hours plus in this traffic, and your car is waiting for you down in front. Your conference call with London is scheduled for 15 minutes from now. What kind of cleanup do you need me to do before the long weekend?" "I've reviewed the revised merger documents for Technitron, and I'm not impressed." Claire passed over a stack of paper big enough to be used as a doorstop. "Courier them down to 50 Wall now. I need a meeting with opposing counsel 7 a.m. Tuesday morning. They come to us. Do I owe you anything before I go?" "No, but you can tell me something. What kind of sadistic bore schedules a meeting with their lawyer for 5 o'clock on the Friday of Labor Day weekend?" "Client's always right, and sadistic is in the eye of the beholder." Claire packed up the will in a document case, then grabbed her Birkin bag. As she looked around her spacious office, she tried to think of the work she planned to do over the weekend. "What am I forgetting? Pill. Right. Claire used what was left in her mug to polish off the prescription she'd been working her way through for the last 10 days. As she pitched the orange bottle in the wastepaper basket, she realized she hadn't sneezed or coughed since Sunday. Stuff had worked, evidently. Damn airplanes. Germ pools with wings. "Walk with me." Claire gave a couple more marching orders on the way to the elevator, all the while waving to some of the 200-odd attorneys and support staff that worked at Williams, Nance, and Stoughton. Martha kept pace with her in spite of the load of paper in her arms, but then that was what was great about the woman. No matter what, she was always there. At the bank of elevators, Claire punched the down button. "Okay, I think that's it. Hope you have a good weekend." "You too. Try and take a break, would you?" Claire stepped into the mahogany-paneled lift. "Can't. We have Technitron on Tuesday. I'm going to spend most of my weekend here." 4 minutes later, she was in her Mercedes, inching forward in the Manhattan traffic, trying to get out of the city. 11 minutes after that, she was being patched into London. The conference call lasted 53 minutes, and it was a good thing she was basically in a parking lot because the virtual meeting didn't go well, which was pretty common. Mergers and acquisitions of billion-dollar companies were never easy, and not for the faint of heart. Her father had taught her that. Still, it was a relief to hang up and just focus on driving. Caldwell, New York, was probably only 100 miles from downtown, but Martha was right. Traffic was a bitch. Apparently everyone and their uncle was trying to peel out of the Big Apple, and they were all using the same route as Claire. Normally, she wouldn't be taking the time to drive to see a client in a private home, but Miss Leeds was a special case for a lot of reasons, and it wasn't like the woman could come down to the office easily. She was what, 91 now? Christ, maybe she was even older. Claire's father had been the woman's lawyer forever, and after he'd died 2 years ago, Claire had inherited Miss Leeds along with his equity in the family firm. When she'd taken his seat at the partners' table, she became the first female in the history of Williams, Nance, and Stoughton to park it in the boardroom. But she'd earned that right, in spite of what Walter Stoughton's will said. She was a fantastic M&A lawyer, second to very, very few. Miss Leeds was her only trusts and estates client, which had been the same for Claire's father. The elderly woman was worth close to $200 million, thanks to her family's interest.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?